Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie if you're new, and here on my channel I do a lot of cleaning and organization videos as well as mommy and lifestyle videos too. I am a mom to two little ones. I have a almost 3-year-old little girl named Emmy, and then Oakley is my 9-month-old little boy. And today this video is going to be all about Oakley here, and I'm going to update you guys on his little life from 6 to 9 months. He loves to see himself. You think you're good looking? Yeah, you're pretty good looking. I am going to go hand off Oakley to Andrew, who's my husband, because Oakley is gonna be a little distracting if I were to try and keep him here with me. But I wanted you guys to see him and see how much he's grown since the last video. I did an update video at 4 months with him, and today I went back and looked at it just to see where I'd kind of left off so I could plan out what I was gonna say for this video. And oh my goodness, he was so tiny. It's hard to believe that he was ever so little, and it's amazing how fast they grow. Crazy. Say bye-bye, Okies. Can you say bye? Can you say bye? All right, so let's start with food. Oakley started solids at around 6 months old. I had been told by my doctor to start him as soon as 4 months, but I just felt in my mommy heart that 6 months was when he was ready. 4 months was definitely too soon. 5 months even, he might have been able to start, but I just felt the most comfortable at 6 months. So before he had teeth and before I had started him on solids, I had let him kind of chew on apple slices, like a big thick piece of apple slice, and just watched him to make sure he never ever broke any chunks off. But he liked to eat these because he was starting to teeth a little bit, and you know, he got a few tastes of food. So he started that way. And then at 6 months, I mashed up an avocado and I spoon fed that to him. And then he didn't really like it at first. I think I have some footage on a YouTube video, but he made some faces. And then the next day I gave him avocado again just to make sure that he was okay eating avocado, wasn't allergic or anything. And I cut this one up into chunks and put it on the high chair plate for him and let him do baby-led weaning, because that is what I wanted to try with him. I was way too scared to try that with Emmy, but I wanted to try it with Oakley because number one, it saves a lot of time, and I think babies have a lot of fun doing it. So I chopped him up an avocado, put it on his plate, and he loved feeding himself. So baby-led weaning has been what he's mostly done. I fed him, what did I start with? Avocado, and then sweet potato, and then banana, and then he had prune puree, and then he had butternut squash. And then after that, I kind of started mixing things together. But he loves solid food. That is like something he gets super excited about. He loves to eat. He does mostly baby-led weaning, especially when we're at home, but if we're out and about or if I'm just in a hurry, then I will feed him a pouch of food. I went through my phone and looked through my old stories on Instagram to get the dates of when he started doing things for the first time, like reaching milestones. According to my Instagram stories, Oakley started army crawling on April 27th, so he would have been about 6.5 months old when he started army crawling. He still army crawls. He still does not get up on his hands and knees to crawl, but Emerson didn't do that either, so maybe it's just something that my kids do. I feel like Oakley could have started pulling himself up a lot earlier than he did. But again, according to my Instagram stories, the first time or the first week that he started pulling himself up was the week of the 4th of July. So he would have been 8 months, and I feel like he was capable of doing it sooner, but he is kind of a chill baby, and so I guess he just wasn't ready to do it. But once he did start pulling himself up, there was no stopping him. And pretty much now, if he's put on the floor or if he's in his crib or his pack and play, he is always standing up, holding himself up. And he even pretty soon after he started pulling himself up was able to start scooching along furniture, like taking side-by-side steps. And he's really, really strong. I feel like with Emerson, there was this period where she was pulling herself up, but it was like scary for us, and she wasn't very stable and would fall easily. But Oakley never had that. Once he stood up and was holding himself up, like, he's so strong that he is pretty sturdy standing up there. Oakley has a few tricks now. He can blow raspberries. And he's very good at mimicking. So if you blow raspberries, then he will do it back. He claps on command, which is so cute. And then he says mama, or he at least makes the sound mama, mostly when he's crying, which breaks my heart. Like, if he's in his car seat and he's upset and wants out and I obviously can't get him out yet, he says mama over and over again, and that everything in me wants to help him. So I'm not sure if he's actually saying mama. We've been working on it for a long time, but he does say it sometimes. Definitely not on command, but he does say it. And those are really the only things he says, other than some cooing and some like screeching. But mama is the only like word or word sounding word that he says now. And then another thing that he does is he kind of does this. He does it to music, so he dances. And then also, if you're looking at him and you do it, then he'll do it back. Or if he's just excited about something. So the other night, he woke up in the middle of the night and I went in there, and when he saw me, he started wiggling, which was so cute. So those are all of his tricks right now. Oakley has almost 6 teeth. He has 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top. He just popped through one next to his top 2, and then I can see where he's about to pop through a 6th tooth. He does seem to be a bit crankier than usual, and it's probably related to the teeth. Another thing is he is not sleeping through the night, and I probably could sleep train him. And I did sleep train Emerson kind of later in her life, and we did the Ferber method, which was perfect for her. That is the style that she needed. But I feel in my mama heart that Oakley is not the type of baby that would do well with the Ferber method, that he maybe could benefit from a no cry method. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for him. He definitely needs to be trained one way or another, because he's waking up a lot during the night. Sometimes it's, every hour and a half to 2 hours, and then he wakes up at about 6:30 every morning. So it's exhausting, to say the least. I am ready for him to sleep through the night, but like I said, I just feel like he would benefit from a more gentler form of sleep training. So I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out, but for now, he is definitely not sleeping through the night. When I go in there to put him back to sleep, I nurse him back to sleep. Definitely not something I'm proud of, but it is reality and it is where we are. And I honestly don't mind nursing him back to sleep. I kind of enjoy that time with him. Some nights it's like, okay, dude, I wanted to nurse you like 1 time back to sleep, but not 5 times back to sleep. We'll figure it out. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is this nursing issue that we had with Oakley. I shared it on Instagram. Y'all know kind of what was going on. He, at 8.5 months, decided that he didn't really want to nurse anymore. He would nurse, especially at nighttime, but like during the day, he's a very distracted nurser, and he has been for a long time. So when I nurse him, pretty much can only nurse him in his bedroom with the sound machine on and the lights off. Also, he really likes his solid food, and so he kind of flipped it to where he would rather eat solids and fill up on solids, and then didn't really care about nursing and wasn't really hungry to nurse because he'd filled up so much on solids. And that was scary to me. It was frustrating to me because I knew that he wasn't ready to, you're supposed to feed babies either breast milk or formula until 12 months. So he was 8.5 to 9 months, not at all ready to quit milk. So I didn't really know what to do. I asked you guys on Instagram. I kind of pinpointed what the issue was, and it was that he was filling up on solids and he would rather eat the solids. I thought for a split second that I would try pumping and feed him a bottle, but I've pumped a little bit here and there, but it is not my thing. It wasn't with my first kid, and it is not with Oakley. It's a lot of work. You guys who pump know that it is a lot of work. So that, went out the window really fast. And then we went on a camping trip, and I knew that he was going to be even more distracted, but I also knew that he needed to nurse. So I kind of held off on the solids and allowed him to get hungry, and then I would nurse him. And so it took maybe a day, but he did get back to where he was nursing for a good feeding. And then I just told myself, no matter what, I have to make sure that he nurses before he eats a solid food meal. So I was just very careful to make sure that I nursed him when I was supposed to nurse him, and before he ate any solid foods, he had to have a good nurse. And if he didn't have a good nurse, then he didn't get any solid foods. And now we are back to a nice little routine where he's nursing well, and then he eats his solids, and he seems to be a pretty happy camper about that. So I'm glad that that issue was resolved and that I figured it out. I knew something was going on, and I knew he wasn't really ready to quit nursing, and I wasn't ready for sure. So I'm glad that that got resolved. So that is Oakley from 6 to 9 months. That's where we are now, pulling up on everything, eating like a champ. Super happy baby all the time, pretty much all the time. He laughs, he smiles, he doesn't know a stranger. Pretty much anybody can hold him, and he's content with that. So he's a happy little dude. If you guys have any questions on something that maybe I forgot to cover, ask them in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure that you are subscribed if you haven't done so already. Follow us on Instagram at Allie_Gooch to keep up with us there. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.